Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Not a great weekend in sports.
A tough weekend against Minnesota, all the way around. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah?
That's right. We weren't here on Friday. None of us were here.
No, that's
yeah,
right.
It was very nice.
I
Yourself?
was in suburban Chicago. Oh, I got spoiled rotten. My brother and sister-in-law did all the cooking. All I had to do was show up and enjoy. It was great.
But you got out before the snow.
Yes. Yeah, we're lucky us.
Yeah, we got nothing here.
Yeah, we'll have more on that in just a little bit.
But first, here's what's making news on this Monday. A former campaign advisor to President Trump is making Wisconsin his home for the next 2 weeks. Not on vacation, but in a prison camp. Rose Schmidt explains.
Today is Cyber Monday, and this is the season for those porch pirates. You have to be very careful this time of year. Our Madeline O'Neill has a video showing how you can keep them at bay and protect your packages.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
And it is touchdown on the red planet for a NASA spacecraft. That story later in our newscast. No touchdown for the Packers, but there's for NASA.
And we're also going to meet the host of the Manitowoc Minute,
Charlie Barons.
That's
I don't know
right.
if you've seen this on the internet, but it is hilarious. He is funny, and he'll be here as well.
Looking forward to that.
Let's take a look outside. Brisk outside today. The Christmas trees blowing in the wind. You turned your lights on, I assume?
Yes, I did.
All right. Yeah, baby, it's cold outside. And Chris Reese is in the backyard to attest to that.
Yeah, my mom got that Christmas song stuck in my head while she was here. Being from Houston, she thought, wow, what extreme cold that I am in. But nonetheless, it is a pretty chilly day out there. Temperatures right now only at 25 degrees, and that's cooler than where we were earlier today. We've somewhat watched that temperature steadily drop. Winds still out of the north and northwest at 7 miles per hour. Now, our high today was 28, which is still 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. The low this morning, 25. But man, we've seen those below normal temperatures practically all month long, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, other than the above normal temperatures that we had right around Thanksgiving. But temperatures across the state are still all in the 20s for us. Black River Falls at 23 degrees right now. We zoom things out across the upper Midwest, and you see that colder air that is actually on the move for tonight. Fargo at 14 degrees right now. We will likely drop close to, if not reaching, where they are right now as we go through the overnight hours. Now, the storm from last night, moving on out of here, that left us with clouds and some flurries. We're starting to see the cloud cover break up, though, so I do think if we can get it in here before the sun sets, we might see a brief peak of sun, but for the most part, the clouds will break up after it has gotten dark for a lot of us. But it's breezy, though. Those winds coming out of the north and west at 8 miles per hour, 12 miles per hour in some spots, and that's creating a bit of a wind chill, often feeling about 10 degrees colder than the actual air temperature. It feels like 20 or 16 rather right now. But as we go through the day, temperatures will stay in the 20s through the night and then eventually fall into the mid-teens with a mix of some cloud cover and moonshine out there as we head into the overnight hours. First alert traffic, most of it's light, which is good news. Here's the Beltline at Todd Drive right now. It is moving along with no major issues across the city of Madison either. Typically around this time we begin to see a lot of red showing up on this map, but I guess a lot of folks took the day off for Cyber Monday. We're seeing a few brake lights as you work your way downtown towards the Isthmus, but beyond that, things are going smoothly this evening commute time. For the most part, all routes cruising along with no major crashes or delays.
All right, looking good. Just bundle up.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Will do.
Come on inside. We'll see you in a few minutes, Chris.
All right, thank you, Chris. First at 4, no major travel or weather troubles in the Madison area to end the Thanksgiving weekend.
But very, very close to us, a powerful winter storm brought blizzard conditions. The Chicago area was slammed with up to a foot of snow in some places. Heavy, wet snow and whiteout conditions stalled commuter traffic on the roads. The National Weather Service says 7.5 inches of snow fell at O'Hare Airport, 5 inches fell at Midway. 800 flights were canceled at O'Hare between midnight and 10 o'clock this morning. A former campaign advisor to President Trump will serve his prison sentence in Wisconsin.
George Papadopoulos reported to the prison camp in Oxford this afternoon. Our Rose Schmidt was there and tells us more about the facility where he will serve. Rose?
Well, Papadopoulos will serve 14 days at the federal minimum security camp in Adams County. A UW-Madison professor tells me it's not what you think of when you imagine a prison. It's more like a government or administrative building. And Papadopoulos surrendered there around noon today. He pleaded guilty last year to lying to federal agents about his interactions with Russian officials during the 2016 presidential campaign. He asked twice in the last 10 days to postpone his sentence, but a judge denied his requests. Oxford has 2 different prisons. One is the Federal correctional institution, a medium security facility. The other, the camp where Papadopoulos will serve, is where a number of CEOs and government officials who've been arrested have done time.
Typically thinking of things like, white-collar crime, low-level or older drug offenders, individuals who don't have lengthy criminal histories, or if they do, they've reached an age where the Bureau of Prisons feels they're no longer a risk.
Professor Stevenson says the camp has dorm-style housing programs, but doesn't have fences, towers, or other common characteristics of a prison. Papadopoulos tweeted today that he could not believe he was going to federal prison camp, saying he had never met a single Russian official in his life. And why is he serving in our state? Well, it's likely because his parents live in Chicago, and Stevenson says the Federal Bureau of Prisons considers proximity of family when deciding where to send inmates.
Interesting. All right, Rose Schmidt, live in the News Center. Thank you.
President Trump threatens to shut down the U.S.-Mexico border permanently after yesterday's clashes between migrants and Border Patrol agents. Mola Lenghi has more from the White House.
President Donald Trump has threatened to close the southwest border permanently, a day after protests by Central American migrants seeking asylum turned into chaos.
They were being rushed by some very tough people, and they used tear gas. And here's the bottom line. Nobody's coming into our country unless they come in legally.
U.S. border agents fired tear gas after nearly 500 migrants tried to illegally cross the border Sunday. Mexico says it's deporting 98 people who were involved in the clashes and is threatening to deport more. President Trump has reiterated his call to Congress to approve money for the border wall. The next government funding deadline is in less than 2 weeks, and in the past, the president has threatened to shut down the government over the wall.
This would be a very good time to do a shutdown. I don't think it's going to be necessary.
Republicans say they are currently working to get more funding for the wall, while Democrats say there's momentum for the next Congress to tackle comprehensive immigration reform.
I think Democrats in the House are serious about comprehensive immigration reform. I think we have some Republicans in the Senate, and let's see if we can do something.
Lawmakers have tried for decades, but have yet to reach an immigration deal they can pass.
Mola Lenghi, WISC News 3.
House Democrats could be gearing up to investigate the president's deployment of more than 5,000 U.S. soldiers to the border. Congressman Adam Smith, who could be the next House Armed Services Committee chairman, has sent a letter to President Trump asking for legal justification after the president authorized the use of deadly force at the border.
It looks like Americans are spending a record amount online on this Cyber Monday. This Amazon fulfillment center in New Jersey is the size of 28 football fields. Amazon is far from alone. Retailers across the web are offering deep discounts to attract shoppers. Online shopping already hit new sales records on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and through the weekend.
For this holiday season, we're expecting about $1 in every $6 to be spent online. Consumers trust online. I think we've seen generations now come up, growing up with e-commerce.
Cyber Monday sales expected to hit a new record, reaching about $8 billion in the U.S. That's an 18% increase from last year. They get 1,000 orders a second.
I know, it's hard to imagine that, yeah.
It is amazing. Well, let's see. With more packaging being delivered this holiday season, police say consumers are facing more responsibility.
Our Madison O'Neill is here with some tips on how to avoid a crime that is very hard for police to track, Maddie.
Well, it's likely a term you've heard of as more items are sent to your doorstep. It's the time of year when police warn more delivered packages are being stolen. Criminals who do so are commonly called porch pirates. Madison police officer Tyler Gregg made this video to remind us how to outsmart the thieves.
Oh, hey, I see that you have a video doorbell. Well, that may or may not stop me and my fellow porch pirates this holiday season from taking your packages. But I do have some tips from the Madison Police Department.
Those tips include scheduling delivery on a day when you'll be home, sending packages to a physical store or your workplace if you're able to, and talking to your carrier about signing off on your delivery. Video doorbells can be helpful as well to identify the porch pirates, because while Madison police have arrested them in the past, the thieves can be difficult for police to track down.
I love the term.
Porch pirates, yeah, it's fun.
I like the video too. That's creative.
That's
a creative way to get the message across.
Be careful out there. All right, Maddie, thank you.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Maddie. Christmas has arrived at the White House. The White House holiday decorations were unveiled today, designed by First Lady Melania Trump. The decor features a theme of American treasures. The White House says decorations include a tree trimmed by Gold Star families, an array of topiary trees, and mantelpieces featuring the skylines of New York City, St. Louis, Chicago, and San Francisco. Also on display are the customary gingerbread house and the traditional White House tree, which stands at 18 feet tall. The state Capitol Christmas tree was moved inside the rotunda this morning. The balsam fir, which measures 40 feet, was donated by Don and Mary Miller in Plainfield. It will be decorated with ornaments made by elementary students from around the state and will be officially lit tomorrow.
'Tis the season.
Tis the season.
Where's the tree on your desk? I haven't seen it.
No, yeah. Tomorrow.
All right. Don't mean to put you on the spot. Yeah. When we come back, news of major layoffs at General Motors plants.
And we head to the movies with our Will Loper. We'll find out what he thinks of the new animated film, Ralph Breaks the Internet. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. General Motors made a major restructuring announcement today.
The company will close up to 5 plants and lay off 14,700 people. The company says it needs to cut costs and focus more on autonomous and electric vehicles. The reduction includes 8,100 white-collar workers, some of whom will take buyouts and others who will be laid off. Most of the affected factories build cars that won't be sold in the U.S. after next year. President Trump says he is not happy with that decision.
They say the Chevy Cruze is not selling well. I say, well, then get a car that is selling well and put it back in. So I think you're going to see something else happen there. But I'm not happy about it. Their car is not selling well.
2 of the GM plants being closed are in Detroit. Other plants closing are in Ontario, Canada, Warren, Ohio, and Baltimore.
Stocks rebounded on Wall Street as holiday sales pick up. The Dow Industrials rose 354 points, closing at 24,640. The Nasdaq Composite Index gained 142, and the S&P 500 was up 40.
If I'm not a racer, what am I?
Oh, you're my best friend. All we gotta do is find a part to fix your game. Everything goes back to the way it was.
But where are we gonna find that?
The internet.
What? I love it here.
Who knew there's so many babies and cats in the world?
That is what the internet was made for!
That was a clip from Ralph Breaks the Internet, one of the newest movies to hit theaters and break box office records.
It had the second biggest Thanksgiving opening ever. But is it worth seeing? Well, here to let us know what he thinks is our film critic, Will Loper. This was a big hit, huh?
Big hit, yeah. Cats and babies.
Yeah, there you go.
The internet was made for.
Yep. So Wreck-It Ralph's journey into the World Wide Web is a fun, colorful, and clever send-up of viral videos, online games, and all things internet. And even though it may not equal the first, it's still more than worth seeing. So John C. Reilly voices Ralph, who hangs out with Vanellope, voiced by Sarah Silverman. They're both living nice but predictable lives in an old-school arcade. When Vanellope's steering wheel breaks on her arcade game, the two must go to the internet to order a new one, or Vanellope's game will be turned off forever. The movie does a great job of depicting the internet from the inside, packing in tons of jokes along the way about just what goes on when you lose your connection or when a virus occurs. Also, the message about how to be a good friend is really a unique one, and I don't know if I've seen it that often or ever in a kid's movie, so it was refreshing to have a movie with a message that wasn't something cliche like believe in yourself. The movie is fun for both kids and adults. It's really a no-brainer to just take the family and go see it.
Oh, that's good. Now, should you see the first one? This is the second Wreck-It Ralph,
yes.
right?
I think it's a very good idea to see the first one. You may be a little lost if you don't.
Oh, really?
Knowing
Okay.
the relationship between the two characters. I mean, it'll mean more.
Our kids are going to miss some of these jokes, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think adults will understand sort of jokes about the internet or the dark web and things like that. But kids, it just goes over their heads.
That's what makes these movies so enjoyable, though. It's almost more for the parents,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, something for the adults to enjoy.
All right, what's the rating?
Give this one 3.9. Fat bunnies eating pancakes out of 5. Just stay through the credits to figure out what that means.
It'll make sense.
It'll make sense.
Because it doesn't now.
It doesn't? What?
All right. Up next, the front runner.
We need to say something.
It's nobody's business. None of it is.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about how you get through today.
So Hugh Jackman stars as Gary Hart, the front runner for the 1988 Democratic presidential nomination. Gary Hart is charismatic, he's smart, and it seems the nomination and even the presidency is all but a lock for him. That all changes when the Miami Herald follows and releases a story alleging Hart is having an affair with a model named Donna Rice. And the coverage and attention that follows eventually leads to Gary Hart stepping down. Hugh Jackman turns in a terrific performance, but the film around him doesn't seem to know exactly what it wants to say or how to say it. As soon as things get going, the movie ends. It starts to bring up how past presidents would have affairs and get a pass, but doesn't dive too much deeper into why or how things changed then. The acting is great, it's worth a watch if the subject matter interests you. Otherwise, it's a bit of a letdown from writer and director Jason Reitman.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's a terrific story.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I was a little spoiled by a podcast. Radiolab came out with a podcast just detailing the whole thing and really went into depth about it. And this movie just kind of skates the surface.
It's when times have changed. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yep, exactly.
All right, what is the rating?
3 Hugh Jackmans out of 5. He's great. He's getting a little bit of Oscar buzz for his performance. So we'll see if he's got a Best Actor nom coming.
All right, that's almost that time.
It is.
And how about next week?
Speaking of The Favorite, this is a film getting a lot of Oscar buzz, possibly for Best Picture.
Now, what is this about?
It's about 2 friends of Queen Anne who are both kind of vying for her favoritism, and gets nasty.
Oh,
interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Right. Well, have a great week.
Yep.
We'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Thanks, Will.
We'll be right
Thank you,
back.
guys.
Well, take a look at this. The Bakersfield Condors of the American Hockey League kicked off the teddy bear toss season when the team scored at 12:26 into the second period, sending the fur flying. It's the 20th annual Condors Teddy Bear Toss game. 8,497 fans were on hand to take part in the festivities. Over the past 19 years, fans have tossed more than 121,000 animals onto the ice surface, and those teddy bears distributed to children in need as well as to first responders.
I love that tradition.
That is a great tradition. It really is.
Great video. All right, well, it's Monday, November 26th. Besides being Cyber Monday, it's Good Grief Day, and that's what a lot of us weather people are saying after this weekend.
I was going to say, you hear that in the weather department probably more.
We do. Actually, Charlie Brown started it in the Peanuts cartoon, Charles Schultz's comic strip. He was born on this date in 1922. That's why it's Good Grief Day. You know, Peanuts ran from October 2nd, 1950 until February 13th, 2000.
It's one of those classics you watch every year. You never get tired of it. Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm ready.
Yeah, I think it's on this week.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, it's also National Cake Day. Today is National Cake Day?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's interesting. There is no bad cake, right? What's your favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Chris?
I have to say strawberry.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
There's thousands of different flavors.
There is no bad cake and no bad coffee.
You're going to need to make one of your cakes again.
Yeah,
soon.
I know. It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while. All right. I'm going to have some cake.
Well, enjoy that cake. Meanwhile, I'm going to get ready to hit you guys with the latest forecast. One snow system moving out, but perhaps there are more as we go through the next 10 days. Of course, I'll be breaking down the latest forecast. Well, we didn't quite get any snow at all here in Madison other than some flurries today, but check out this from Philip Peterson down in Beloit. They got about 2 to 3 inches for our friends down in Beloit. winter wonderland of a picture out there. Other snow totals across parts of northern Illinois were rather impressive, upwards of 13.5 inches in some spots. Davenport, Iowa, 11 inches. Rockport, 10 inches, and then you came into Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and far southeastern parts of the state. They got close to double-digit snowfall amounts as well. But the farther north and west you are, the lower those snowfall totals were as well. And here's the radar showing just, look at the insane sharp cutoff of that storm as it began to pull on out of the area. Since then, we've been left with a lot of cloud cover. Here's a live look outside right now, showing you the cloud cover still in place. A lot of the flurries earlier have now come to an end, but it's cold, folks. 25 degrees, winds out of the north and northwest at 8 miles per hour, and temperatures have dropped over the past 24 hours. Now 6 degrees colder here, 5 degrees colder for our friends in Rock County. You work your way back towards the north and west. Black River Falls now 7 degrees colder than they were just 24 hours ago at 23 degrees. So again, 25 in Madison, 28 in Janesville right now. All of us are seeing those temperatures anywhere from the low to mid 20s, although a few of us are in the upper 20s as of now. You factor in the wind, it's about 9 to 10 degrees colder in terms of what it feels like for a lot of folks. So that wind chill, 16 right now, a wind chill of 12 as you work your way up towards the Dells, Wautoma, same for Camp Douglas, and that wind chill is going to be a problem as we go into tomorrow morning as well. Let's go ahead and show you future track. Here's how temperatures will react going through today. By dinner time, right around 23 degrees, dropping into the teens overnight. By the time you're waking up, those temperatures will be right around 15 degrees or so, only to top out by about 23 into tomorrow afternoon. Here's the wind chill, though. Tonight, right around 10 degrees at dinner time. Tomorrow morning, waking up, it is going to feel like a balmy and warm 3 degrees out there, folks, perhaps below zero in the wind chill as you work your way back towards the north and west. Then into the afternoon, this is the warmest part of the day, feeling like 10 degrees around town. So bundle up. It's that time of the year. It's certainly going to be chilly as you begin to step your way out. But this region of low pressure overhead is going to keep that colder pattern around for the next couple of days across the eastern half of the country. We could also see some light snow chances coming down with that. For the most part, it would be flurries, nothing major, but we'll have a little bit of a warm up towards the weekend as well. I say that loosely. We'll still see those temperatures mainly in the 30s, but we will see some of that warmer air move in. It'll be chillier air, milder air down to the south, but then that chilly air kind of takes hold of our pattern. And when you have the colder air to the north and west, along with milder air to the south and east, you get a storm track that oftentimes develops from the deep south and cuts towards the Great Lakes. So that could lead to more snow chances on the northwestern side of that. In fact, one of our models is showing that potential as we get into the first week of December. That's something to watch closely. This is a far, far distance out. There's so much that could change, but we'll watch that potential going through coming days. Whether it snows or not, we are fairly confident we'll have below average temperatures likely over the next 8 to 14 days and a small chance of being above average in the precipitation department over the next 8 to 14 days as well, which could lead to some more snow chances. But again, 15 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, breezy and cold. As we head into tomorrow, expect that high to top out right around 23 degrees. Again, a partly cloudy day. We aren't expecting much in the way of snow. You might see a flurry or two. More light snow chances to arrive as we head into Thursday and Thursday night. That one actually could bring a little bit of accumulating snow to the area, but we're talking half an inch to an inch, nothing major. More chances for rain and snow into the weekend. We'll keep an eye on that. Another system to watch will be Monday and into Tuesday.
I know you're disappointed we didn't get that big snow, but you know what? We'll get another chance.
Yeah, that's okay. I've never seen a big blizzard, and that's one of my lifelong goals, but
stick around. I'm
in Wisconsin, and it's November. It is November. I have an entire, 6 months to go.
Yes, you do.
So it's all right.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, NASA's InSight spacecraft has landed on Mars. It'll conduct a series of experiments to shed more light on the past, present, and future of the planet.
Chris Martinez reports from Pasadena, California.
Touchdown confirmed. InSight has landed. After nearly 7 months of travel, NASA's InSight spacecraft safely arrived on the red planet Monday. And just minutes after touchdown, the first photo was beamed back.
Programming has to be perfect. The flight computer has to do everything by the book without any problems, and it did just that.
InSight's mission helps scientists get a better understanding of the planet's makeup, not from surface soil samples, but from deep inside.
InSight is actually landing on the most boring place on Mars. It's super flat. They call it the Kansas of Mars. It's like a parking lot.
The lander is expected to become the first spacecraft to use technology to understand Mars' core. If all goes as planned,
by the end of the week, we'll know the health of the spacecraft. We'll know the health of the instruments.
Those instruments include a seismometer to measure the planet's internal activity, a heat probe to take its temperature, and a third tool that will study its reflexes.
We expect to get all of our really interesting key science data in those first 2 years.
In that time, InSight could bring answers to questions like, is the planet's interior solid, liquid, or some combination?
Those types of questions are really important for understanding how the planet, what it looked like when it first formed and how it got to be where it is today.
Over the next decade, NASA says its Mars exploration program will keep looking at the challenges in sending humans to the fourth planet from the sun. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
That is fascinating,
It really
isn't
is.
it?
The science is unbelievable.
And just to see the celebration in Pasadena, too, that was amazing.
What is it, 7 minutes of terror they call it?
Yeah.
Is landing?
Yeah, it was amazing. InSight's probe will dig about 16 feet into the subsurface of Mars.
That's deeper than all previous Mars spacecrafts have ever done.
Boy, a lot to learn.
Yep.
Still to come tonight at 4, our top-notch teacher has deep conversations with 5-year-olds.
What's even more amazing, those conversations are in Spanish. We'll have that when Live at 4 continues.
Lights are coming on
Yep,
on a cloudy Monday afternoon. That's a nice shot of the state capitol in downtown Madison. This month's top-notch teacher has special skills. She is a dual language immersion teacher at Sauk Trail Elementary School in Middleton.
And her 5-year-old students think she only speaks Spanish. Charlotte DeLeste has her story.
Calienta poco el sol. This isn't a Spanish lesson, rather a glimpse into what you see and hear every day in Miss Maria Elena Garcia Peterman's class.
Our classrooms have really a very diverse population of students. We have Latinos, African Americans, Asian. We speak, I was counting the other, 4 different languages in the classroom.
These 5-year-olds are part of the dual language immersion program at Sauk Trail Elementary in Middleton.
Wait, is everybody gonna have a turn?
Todo el mundo va a tener una...
It's a way to bridge the gap between Latino students and others, a program Garcia Peterman is uniquely qualified for, so much so she helped create it.
My culture and Puerto Ricans are very generous, so I see that even in the culture itself. We like to share that piece of the language and that piece of the culture with everyone.
It goes both ways. Half the day is spent in her classroom where only Spanish is spoken. The other half of the day is spent in a different classroom where it's English only.
I speak to them only in Spanish, and they'll speak to me in English right now. But the most amazing thing is you can have very deep conversations with 5-year-olds, even though I'm speaking in Spanish and they speak in English.
And here's a little secret. The students don't know Maria Elena can even speak English. But sometimes she lets it slip.
They'll be surprised, and I'll get surprised because sometimes I don't know if I'm speaking English or Spanish.
Regardless of the language being spoken, Maria Elena says what's great is the kids are receptive and ready for the unknown.
The best part of it, they're willing to take risks. They are willing to make a mistake and not worry about it. And it's just, it is amazing what, how easy and pliable their brains are.
Las hojas hacen la fruta. School is meant to open minds and eyes to new things, but with language, this top-notch teacher is able to open her students to new worlds.
Del clima. Our goal really not only to make it biliteral, but bicultural, and just really try to understand other cultures and celebrate them.
Hay unas hojas que no se caen.
Congratulations, Maria Elena. Boy, they're like little sponges
They
at
are
that age.
very flexible with the minds.
Great opportunity. If your teacher is top-notch and you want to let us know about him or her, you can nominate a teacher on our website, channel3000.com. Click on the Education tab.
Again, congratulations. Still to come at 4, he has made Monday a day to look forward to in Wisconsin.
You need a good laugh? That's when comedian Charlie Barons posts another episode of the Manitowoc Minute on YouTube. If you don't know what we're talking about, stay tuned because Charlie is coming up next.
Watching the traffic across the area this evening, now starting to see some backups. Here's the Beltline at Todd Drive. You're seeing a lot of brake lights as you head towards the west. This is looking towards Seminole Highway and Verona Road. But we're seeing more patches of red showing up on the Beltline as well. Most folks moving anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Another heavy spot right at Verona Road right now. No accidents or anything, but do plan on running into some traffic if you're headed that direction. Let's come closer to downtown towards the Isthmus. We're seeing a little bit of traffic on East Wash near 1st Street per usual about this time of the day. Along with Fish Hatchery going outbound, you are running into a little bit of traffic there as well. But otherwise, across Dane County as a whole, traffic is moving smoothly once you get outside of the city of Madison. No issues on the interstates. Just know that the Beltline, you will see a few slow spots. Guys?
Thank you for joining me, folks, and welcome to another edition of Demanded to Walk Minute. Joining me now is Ryan from Meanwhile in Wisconsin. Ryan, how's the hunt going, guy?
I'm hunting for a couple 2-3 bucks.
Any luck?
No, just this massive 38-point pine cone.
Great. Folks, we got that pure, fresh deer urine for sale for just $12 over there in Wyacina. That dopey is like perfume for them bucks. Like, we got Chanel number 5, they got Chanel number 1. Damsel in estrus.
He has turned poking good-natured fun in Wisconsin into an art form. Charlie Barron's viral comedy series, The Manitowoc Minute, covers everything from national news to used bubblers for sale on Kenosha's Craigslist.
You never know when you're going to need that, right?
Charlie's a UW-Madison journalism grad who was born and raised in Elm Grove near Milwaukee.
The hilarious Manitowoc Minute is published every Monday. It has tens of thousands of shares on social media, and now it's grown into an hour-long variety show that's coming to Madison on December 7th. The host himself is here. Charlie Barron's. Hi, nice to see you.
Oh my gosh. Hey, dear. Nice to see you guys. Is this my camera? I got to know my lens. Okay, great. Vanity light, perfect. Folks, come to the show. It's going to be amazing. Okay, got that out of the way. So what are we going to do? You guys want one Charlie or 2 Charlies today, okay? You got this Charlie, and then you got the Charlie that sounds like a Cubs fan a little bit. He goes, hey, how are you guys? Oh my gosh, kind of weird, right? You can have both, whichever one you want. Directed questions, specified all, okay? So let's hear it. I'm going to get a grilling now.
Let's have the real Charlie for a minute.
Okay, sure.
Tell us your background.
My background, well, I went to the University of Wisconsin, majored in journalism and environmental geography. Oh, you have a follow-up there?
No,
okay, cool. I do have credentials, I'm telling you that. No, and then I did local news kind of around in Dallas. I did some YouTube news stuff for a little bit. I was in LA doing entertainment news. And then just in all the news things I was doing, people were like, yeah, you sound a little funny.
How did you come up with Manitowoc, though?
Well, Manitowoc, so I was doing a stand-up show at the Comedy Store, actually. It's a Comedy Store in LA. And I was introducing this character into my set. And after that show, I decided to do a video series, but during the show, there was a guy who was a little bit intoxicated, and he was going back and forth with me, because I say, is anyone from the Midwest? He's like, yeah, I'm from Manitowoc. So we had that banter as I was listening to the show back. I was like, I'm going to call it the Manitowoc Minute. So is
the character a combination of people?
Oh, yeah. It's like family, friends, fishing shows I watched growing up, you know, me. I mean, I like, the reason I started was because I say a lot of the things that I say jokingly in the video, but, obviously I exaggerate for the purposes of comedy, but.
So how did it all start? Did you did it one time, talking into a camera, making fun of things Wisconsin, and then it just took on a life of its own?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was gonna get when you do comedy, you experiment a lot. I didn't know if it was gonna get 10 views or 1,000. It ended up getting like 500,000 in the first week, and so I did another one, and then another, and then here we are.
And your journalism background really comes out in it, because the one today, you did the Packers losing.
Got to get them Packers in there.
Got the snow.
Got the snow, the blizzard. That was breaking news. I was up till 2 a.m. Getting the facts right on that. Is it a blizzard or a winter storm? Folks, that depends on the wind, okay, the wind. Am I right? Okay, I Googled it. That was what I got.
And if you're bummed out about the Packers losing to the Vikings, what was your suggestion today?
Oh, my suggestion was you go on the old Google machine, you say Vikings Super Bowl wins, and guess what? There are 0 results for the past 51 years. So,
0.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Vikings. The Packers, though, have many results under Super Bowl wins, Packers. Skull nothing, okay? So, yeah.
What gets the most reaction from folks? I love the Craigslist stuff. You actually buy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, over the summer, I bought that car. I bought this 82 Volkswagen Rabbit. 45 miles to the gallon. So fuel efficient. What happened to our fuel efficiency standards?
Then the rabbit died.
The rabbit died. Rest it so.
And you've taken on some serious topics. You addressed the prom picture controversy in Baraboo.
Yeah, I did address that. But, and I wanted to be careful to really go after the issue. These kids are in high school still, but to go after the issue, the faces, I had them blurred there. And to go, you don't know what's in all their hearts, but some people probably knew what they were doing. Other people followed suit. But I think it's important to, say, look, you can't just jump in on something like that. And if it happens, I think you want to admit it happened and say it was a mistake, a terrible mistake, and move on and move forward. So, but I wanted to go after the issue, not the specific people in there. So.
And you use the site in the show for serious things. The veterans, you always salute a veteran.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's so many things in our politics right now, or just our weird eggshell political climate where it's like, we don't agree on anything. We can agree on a lot of things, and the veterans are one of them. These guys, these men and women have done so much for the country, and it's more than fighting wars, and it is that, but it's helping out in natural disasters, hurricanes, earthquakes, the guards there, a lot of people are there. And it's other issues too, the environment, whether you're on the right or the left, we can all agree that we need a solid environment, and so there are a lot of those issues I just try and focus on where it's like, there's so much we agree on, we gotta stop pretending like we're so divisive.
And then there's deer urine.
Yeah, folks, if there's one thing that can unite the right and the left, it's the dope. Where's my camera? It's the dopey. Oh, over here. It's the dopey. Okay, that tinks. Okay. Do you guys have another dopey sponsor? I just ruined it if I shouted out to Tinks. Hey, Tinks, keep her moving.
You got a live show coming up in Madison?
Yes, a live show at Madison at Memorial Union next Friday. Did I get that right?
Yep. Yes, December 7th.
There it is.
It's going to be a ton of fun. We played there last year. This is a brand new show, though. Spent a lot of time writing a new show, and I like this one. If you saw the one last year, that's okay, it was good. But this one's better, folks. I'm an unbiased source, so you know it's true. Okay?
Go online. Just Google Manitowoc Minute.
The Manitowoc Minute every Monday.
Every Monday, folks.
It's a great way to start a Monday. Good
and
laugh.
as always, go Packers. And okay, right, no, not here. No beepers here. Okay, keep her moving.
You'll understand if you watch it.
Charlie, great to see you.
Welcome back to Madison.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right back with your forecast.
How do we top that?
Breast
All right, you got to keep her moving out there and stay warm.
Oh, yes, you do. Keep that core warm. It'll keep the extremities warmer. We're going to have a pretty chilly night. Temperatures cooling down to 15 degrees. Wind chills will go all the way down to about 3 degrees for a lot of us. So it will be a pretty chilly night there. Waking up temperatures in the teens. We'll top out around 23 degrees tomorrow. We'll see some flurries possibly coming in from the north, but I do think we'll see a bit more sunshine tomorrow as well, and that flurry chance is going to be very, very slight, but it's possible.
Well, that's a January forecast.
Yes, it is, and I guess we can buckle up for what real January brings.
Yeah. If it gets worse than this, we're in trouble.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, thank you. And coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, he was the official photographer for the Obama and Reagan White Houses. Now, Pete Sousa has a new book out. He joins us in studio.
And specialty pillows. You've seen the commercials for them. Do they make you sleep better? Consumer Reports will help you pick out the pillow of your dreams. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.